What's up, Lakers Nation? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, your ultimate destination for the freshest updates, the most in-depth analysis, and all the exclusive information you need about our Los Angeles Lakers. I'm here today with something that's going to blow your mind. We're talking about a potential move that could redefine this franchise for the next several years, a scenario that seemed impossible just months ago, but is now becoming eerily realistic. This isn't your typical trade speculation. This is about seizing an opportunity that rarely presents itself in professional basketball. Stay locked in because what I'm about to break down will have you questioning everything you thought you knew about the current state of the NBA landscape. You know, there are moments in sports where the dominoes start falling in unexpected ways, where decisions made by one organization create ripples that fundamentally alter the possibilities for everyone else, where a seemingly smart move by a competitor actually opens a door that was previously bolted shut. We're living in one of those moments right now, and the Lakers front office is paying very close attention. Let me take you back to understand how we got here. The Western Conference has been an absolute bloodbath this season. Every night is a war. Every game matters. And the margin between being a championship contender and fighting for your playoff life is razor thin. Teams are making aggressive moves, trying to maximize their windows, trying to position themselves for both immediate success and long-term sustainability. It's a delicate balance, and not everyone is getting it right. Now, when you think about the elite point guards in NBA history, when you think about players who have completely revolutionized the game, there's one name that immediately comes to mind. A player who changed how basketball is played, who made the three-point shot not just a weapon, but the primary offensive philosophy for an entire generation. A player who has won multiple championships, multiple MVP awards, and has cemented his legacy as one of the greatest to ever do it. But here's the thing about legacy, about greatness, about those final chapters of a Hall of Fame career. Context matters, the supporting cast matters, the organizational direction matters, and sometimes, through no fault of the player himself, the situation around him deteriorates to the point where difficult decisions have to be made. I'm not going to dance around this. We need to talk about what's happening with the Golden State Warriors right now, because it directly impacts a potential opportunity for the Lakers that could be absolutely franchise-altering. Golden State made a move recently that seemed bold on the surface, that generated headlines and got people talking. But when you dig deeper into the implications, when you analyze the financial ramifications and the fit on the court, serious questions start emerging. The Warriors traded for Jimmy Butler. On paper, adding a player of Butler's caliber, a guy who has proven himself time and time again in the postseason, seems like a no-brainer for a team trying to maximize what's left of their championship window. Butler is a great player. There's no denying that. In his prime, he was one of the most clutch postseason performers we've ever seen. The guy lives for those big moments, thrives under pressure, and has carried teams further than anyone expected. But let's be real about where Jimmy Butler is in his career right now. He's 36 years old, and while he's still putting up solid numbers, averaging 19.1 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 5.0 assists, while shooting an impressive 51% from the field and 4% from three-point range, those are not the numbers of a guy who's going to carry you through an 82-game regular season. Those are the numbers of a complementary piece, a third or maybe second option, who can elevate his game when it matters most in the playoffs. And that's where the problem lies for Golden State. When Butler was in the Eastern Conference with Miami, playing alongside Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro, he could get away with being that type of player during the regular season. The East was softer, the competition wasn't as fierce night in and night out, and they could squeak into the playoffs where Butler would turn it up a notch. But the Western Conference doesn't work that way anymore. This isn't 2015 where you can coast through the regular season and flip a switch in April. Every single game matters, every opponent is dangerous, and if you're not bringing it consistently, You're going to find yourself on the outside looking in when the postseason arrives. Right now, the Warriors are in legitimate danger of becoming a fringe play-in team. They're struggling to maintain consistency. They're dealing with the reality that their core is aging. And most importantly, they're putting an enormous burden on one player to carry the offensive load night after night. Stephen Curry, at this stage of his career, shouldn't have to be the primary scorer, the guy who has to drop 30-plus points just to give his team a chance to win. He should have legitimate help, players who can take pressure off him, who can create their own offense and allow him to pick his spots. Butler isn't that player anymore, at least not in the regular season. He's not the guy who's going to give you 25 to 30 points on a nightly basis to ease the burden on Curry. And here's the kicker. Golden State just locked up $54. $1 million in salary for a player who doesn't really fit what they need most right now. They handcuffed themselves financially, limiting their flexibility to make additional moves, to add pieces that could actually address their most pressing needs. This is where it gets interesting for us, Lakers fans. When a team makes a move that constrains their financial flexibility, when they commit significant resources to a player who may not be the perfect fit, it creates vulnerability. It creates a situation where they have to start asking themselves hard questions about their direction, about their timeline, about whether they're truly maximizing their remaining window with their franchise cornerstone. And those hard questions sometimes lead to conversations that would have been unthinkable just months earlier. Conversations about whether the best path forward might involve a dramatic change, a reset that honors the legacy of their greatest player, while also being realistic about the current trajectory of the franchise. Now, I want you to think about what the Lakers have been building. We've got LeBron James still playing at an elite level, defying age and expectations. We've got Anthony Davis, when healthy, as one of the most dominant two-way forces in the game. We've got young talent developing, we've got cap flexibility that most teams would kill for, and we've got the Los Angeles market, the bright lights, the legacy of championship basketball that attracts players who want to cement their legacies. What we've been missing, what has kept us from being true championship favorites, is that elite floor general, that point guard who can orchestrate an offense, who can space the floor with elite shooting, who can make everyone around him better. We've tried different combinations, we've experimented with various backcourt configurations, but we haven't had that transcendent talent at the position since the Magic Johnson era. So here's where we are, and I need you to really absorb what I'm about to say. The Lakers front office has been monitoring the situation in Golden State very closely. They've been watching how the Butler acquisition has played out. They've been analyzing the Warriors' financial constraints, and they've been having internal discussions about whether there might be an opportunity to make a move that seemed impossible just a short time ago. Multiple sources close to the organization have indicated that the Lakers have put together a proposal, a serious offer that they're prepared to present to Golden State for Stephen Curry. Yes, you heard that correctly. The Los Angeles Lakers are preparing to make a run at bringing one of the greatest point guards in NBA history to Hollywood. Now, before everyone loses their minds, let me walk you through why this actually makes sense for both sides, why this isn't just fan fiction or wishful thinking, but a legitimate scenario that addresses real problems for both franchises. For the Warriors, they're stuck. They made a big swing with Butler, it's not working the way they hoped, and they're staring down a situation where they might waste the final years of Curry's prime fighting for play-in spots instead of competing for championships. Curry is 36 years old. He's still playing at an incredibly high level, but how much longer can they ask him to carry this offensive burden? How many more years of first-round exits or missed playoffs can they justify before they have to admit that the current construction isn't working? Trading Curry would be devastating for Warriors fans, there's no question about that. But it would also give them the opportunity to reset, to build around younger pieces, to accumulate assets that could position them for long-term success rather than clinging to a window that's rapidly closing. It would be a business decision, a painful but potentially necessary acknowledgement that sometimes the most respectful thing you can do for a franchise legend is allow him to chase another championship in a situation that's more conducive to winning right now. For the Lakers, this would be the ultimate win-now move. Imagine a lineup featuring Curry, LeBron, and AD. Think about the spacing, the offensive firepower, the basketball IQ on the court at the same time. Curry's ability to play off-ball would be perfect alongside LeBron, who's still one of the best facilitators in the game. His shooting would force defenses to extend, creating driving lanes for LeBron and post-up opportunities for AD. His leadership and championship pedigree would elevate the entire locker room. The package the Lakers would need to put together would be substantial. Make no mistake. We're talking about multiple first-round picks, young players with upside, and potentially taking on additional salary to make the money work. But when you have a chance to acquire a player of Curry's caliber, a guy who's still performing at an all-NBA level, you don't hesitate. You make it happen. Think about what this would mean for Curry's legacy as well. He's already a champion multiple times over. He's already changed the game. He's already secured his place in the Hall of Fame. But imagine him winning a championship with the Lakers, joining that legendary lineage of point guards who wore the purple and gold, adding another chapter to his story that nobody saw coming. Playing with LeBron, one of his greatest rivals and peers, teaming up for one final championship run in the biggest market in basketball. The optics would be incredible. The basketball would be beautiful. And most importantly, it would give both LeBron and Curry, two of the greatest players of this generation, one more legitimate shot at a championship before their careers wind down. Now, let's talk about the practical aspects of making this happen. The Lakers would likely need to include players like Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and potentially Jard Vanderbilt to make the salaries match. They'd need to part with multiple future first-round picks, probably unprotected, to give Golden State the assets they need to rebuild. It would gut some of the depth we've built, but when you're talking about adding a player like Curry to pair with LeBron and AD, you accept that trade-off every single time. The Warriors would get young, controllable talent in Reeves and Hachimura, both of whom have shown they can contribute to winning basketball. They'd get draft capital to either use themselves or flip for additional assets. They'd get financial flexibility to reshape their roster around a new core. And they'd give Curry, who has given them everything, a chance to compete for another title in a situation that's more stable and championship-ready right now. Is this trade going to happen? I don't know. These types of blockbusters are incredibly difficult to pull off, especially when you're talking about moving a franchise icon like Curry. The emotional component, the fan reaction, the optics of trading away the greatest player in your franchise's history, all of that weighs heavily on decision-makers. But the fact that the Lakers have put together a proposal, the fact that they're serious enough to have these internal discussions and potentially present an offer to Golden State, tells you everything you need to know about how they view their current championship window and their willingness to be aggressive in pursuing another title. This is the type of bold move that defines franchises. The Lakers have never been afraid to make the big swing, to pursue the superstar, to put all their chips in the middle when they believe they have a chance to win it all. From Kareem to Shaq to Pau Gasol to LeBron, this organization has a history of identifying opportunities and capitalizing on them. And right now, with Golden State's situation becoming increasingly complicated, with Curry potentially available for the first time in his career, with our own championship window still open thanks to LeBron and AD, this might be the perfect storm of circumstances that allows something truly special to happen. I want to be clear about something. I have tremendous respect for what Curry has built in Golden State. He's a legend. He's transformed that franchise, and he deserves every bit of credit for the dynasty they created. But basketball is a business. Situations change. And sometimes the best move for everyone involved is the one that seems unthinkable at first. The Lakers making a serious push for Curry isn't disrespectful to his legacy in Golden State. It's actually a testament to how much they value what he brings, how much they believe he could be the missing piece for another championship run, and how committed they are to maximizing LeBron's remaining years. So where do we go from here? The Lakers have made their interest known, they've put together a package that they believe is competitive, and now it's up to Golden State to decide whether they're willing to have that conversation. It won't be easy, it won't be quick, and there's a very real chance it doesn't happen at all. But the fact that we're even discussing this possibility, the fact that circumstances have aligned to make this remotely feasible, should tell you everything about how fluid the NBA landscape is right now. Before we wrap this up, I want to hear from you, Lakers Nation. Would you support the Lakers going all in on a trade for Stephen Curry? What would you be willing to give up to make it happen? Do you think Curry alongside LeBron and AD would be enough to win another championship? Or do you think we'd be sacrificing too much depth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I genuinely want to know how our community feels about this potential seismic shift. If you want to stay on top of every development in this story, if you want to be the first to know when news breaks about potential Lakers moves, you need to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. I'm bringing you daily content that goes deeper than anyone else, that gives you the analysis and insider perspective you won't find anywhere else. Share this video with every Lakers fan you know because this could be the beginning of something truly special. I'll be monitoring this situation closely and bringing you updates as soon as they happen. This is the type of story that could define the next era of Lakers basketball, and I want all of you to be part of the conversation as it unfolds. Lakers Nation, let's make some noise in the comments. I'll see you in the next video with more exclusive coverage. Let's go Lakers! Sources: analysis based on NBA trade speculation, team salary cap situations, and strategic roster construction considerations from league insiders and basketball analysts.